everybody. Welcome to the Summoner Circle. Tonight we have two guests, and we are so excited to have them. We have Donovan and we have XN. And tonight we are going to be talking about the upcoming Data Raid bill, as well as possible upcoming companion champs for the leader coming forward. And then finally, might have a fun game. So let's get this jump started real fast. Anybody been playing actively? Anybody that hasn't been playing? And if so, quick question. What's everybody thinking of the current saga? I have like these real opinions and something I've kind of been tracking over the last one. So before we get too deep into the beta stuff, I want to know, do you guys think that this saga feels as in depth and as a much effect on the overall champs we're using and what we're doing as the last one? Because the last one, in my opinion, felt very significant. I feel like I'm not really noticing much difference with the Saga champs this time around.
Dude, I think I'm right with you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I take path 3 in war, so it's it's like this armor, so it's like basically bring Gallon and nuke everybody. So it's all tech champs.
So yeah, they weren't really affected. They're all off the current one, right?
Yeah.
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 Just feels like they didn't affect it. The mutants really benefited. I think like when the mutants have like those external buffs, they really like it's just like the prowess, how it stacks with everything. It just really ramps them up and they become way harder. And when mutants are strong, it's like the best time to have a really deep tech deck or like anything you can use to kind of not have your ability accuracy lowered by Domino. God, she sucks.
Dude, not gonna lie, I think the mutant class is the most node reliant class in game.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah, I could say the same. I mean, it really like you said, it really just depends on where you're using them, because some of them have immunities to some things, and some of them have immunities to other things, and some of them get really high special damage. It's really kind of all over the place.
Absolutely, and I will say though, it is. I felt possibly that the last, although it feels weird that we're in a saga again, it feels like overall it's being pushed less extremely. Like it just doesn't feel like I feels like they self-moderated from feedback, and if you weren't using a saga champ, you were really underperforming. I think previously in the previous one, and now it's just like if you use it in one, cool bonus. You can use Maestro or whatever on attack now. I see that happening on attack before.
Yeah.
That's blowing my mind because people are using that and taking down some really good defenders. So I mean that's kind of cool to see. Like that's really cool. But otherwise, it's kind of pick who you want to play again, which I like. I do enjoy having it a little more open and less restrictive. I don't like the over restrictions of some of the stuff they do.
Yeah, there is that. However, you do kind of sometimes need a direction for your rank up sometimes. So I can see why a little bit more restrictiveness is helpful. But you need to find the balance between this saga and last sagas. Because last saga was too restrictive, this saga is too unrestricted.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do next time around.
I got a question for you guys. Are you ranking up for sagas? Like within the 3-month period, about how many champions are you ranking up that has a saga tag?
Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, I'm barely doing that for that because I just ranked up Guardian, right? Just because I have the relic to put on him,
You're
not
so
for
good
anything
too,
else.
Yeah.
So like the saga's so inconsequential, I don't even care this 3-month period around. So yeah.
So To answer the question, I did last saga. I ranked a lot of champs based on I used to run. I've kind of bounced around between a few different rules and more. So I was um, previously I was lane 4, 4. So it was like the debuff and blockable stuff. So you want like mole man. If you have mole man, you kind of win it. And like some
Yeah.
people will use kingpin or whatever because they don't mind dexing for a while until he shrugs. But mole man just literally handles that whole lane with no problem.
Right.
I unfortunately got moved off of uh, my lane, and I'm backup now, so I don't get to use my mole man, which I've been wanting to use on a tactic for forever. But I have to kind of keep my attackers a little more fluid and like up to date with what I have that can counter the new meta characters. We're not really high up. We're in like platinum 4 or 5 right now, but people are still placing 7-star metas on Boss Island, and those are what I usually take. So I have to kind of have stuff defender wise always. Like I really like being a pain in the butt to anybody I'm going up against in any kind of you know competitive mode. So I always have like the most annoying defenders. Like first thing I did when I got arcade is the 6-star. Oh yeah, I got 6-star arcade and immediately Maximus ascended him just because I was like, I think he might be annoying. He is. It's pretty great.
He is.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Very nice.
spectacular. But how many in total? I mean, I don't know. I rank like 4 or 5 champs a week, so I'm not sure, but a lot. A lot.
Something tells me you're a whale in this game.
7.5 PI, yes.
I mean, I've got a few rank up gems that I can be using, but I'm saving them. So
Save them. Save them.
Yeah.
Make sure you like. I'll do it just to because I like playing with every character in this game too. Like there's very few that I don't want to try out or see how they are. And even now with 7-stars, like I've got every 6-star at rank 3 or higher just because that was a personal goal of mine. So like the only champ I don't have as a 6-star is the Unstoppable Colossus, and I'm not gonna get him this round because I just couldn't spend it. I just couldn't spend it. I want a loyalty crystal, like a Void or a Howard. So he's the only one I have left. Everybody else is rank 3 and will always be because there's only gonna be 2 new ones a month. So I can keep up with that easy. And now with 7s, I want to see what they're like because playing with 6-star rank 3s and 4s, it's hard to tell if some like comparatively now with 7-stars, it gets hard to kind of compare utility and everything. So that hunger to keep ranking and staying current is still deep. So the whaling's for fun, but I think that if you have the ability to hold back and wait for the champs that matter. I regret it so often ranking too quickly because I'm like, oh, but then I got this guy.
Wah, wah, wah.
Speaking of this guy, though, you say you have some rank up gems waiting. Can I guess that they possibly could be waiting for a gentleman with a hammer?
Absolutely. Hopefully he has a tag so I can use this 1 to 2 gem on this 7-star that I'm gonna get.
He should have a few tags, honestly. Like he should be matched up on like romance and a bunch of other stuff. The dude is very, very, very complex a character throughout his years in the comics. So I'm hoping they do that all justice.
Yeah,
He should have some cool stuff.
I'm assuming he'll have an Omega Flight synergy with Guardian and Sasquatch. Maybe an enemy's tag with Gallon and Absorbing Man. We'll see.
We've got the Annihilators too.
Yeah, the Annihilators. That's definitely. Plus, he'll have like some synergies with Thor, probably Jane Foster, Odin. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see. I've said it from the beginning. When there was talk about maybe he's coming, and there was a question before we saw the teaser. There was the question of is he gonna have the hammer,
Mhm.
or are they giving us Twilight Sword? Because that's a thing.
The hammer's
And
too iconic.
it
It
is.
is, yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, our team don't miss, and there's a small part of me that wants that SP3 to him to be like break out that Twilight Sword and just do a big slash there. It's such
Yeah.
a big moment for the character. I mean, yes, it's current, but also it was the
Ties into his
the
origin.
epitome of and it attaches so much into who this character, like all that he's fought for and who he finally is like came to accept he is.
Oh,
Like that
absolutely.
was such a great run. Oh, that
And
latest gift beta.
same for like Scuttlebutt. If they have like
Yeah.
Scuttlebutt in like a background of his SB3, I would be thrilled.
Yeah.
Do you think Beta's going to be Neuroshock immune?
As a
he
cyborg?
I mean, he
could
is.
be. I mean, it really just depends on what the game team decides.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Any type of immunity, I can guarantee probably some sort of like shock reduction or immunity type.
Yeah.
I don't really know if he has any other like immunities.
I mean, he's an alien.
Yeah,
He's an
I'm
alien.
a cyborg alien.
I mean,
Exactly.
he is a cyborg
definitely
alien,
has,
so
like, a
he's
bleed-
bleed and poison resistance at least.
right.
It could work in he is
He's very
he
fire
is,
resistant too.
yeah, well, yeah.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah,
that whole
true.
So like you could work in a bunch of immunities. Like I could see a
Mhm.
reduction, maybe not a full immunity, like a reduction from incinerate damage. I
Yeah,
could see a reduction from cold snap. Dude has fought on Jotunheim, so dude can handle the cold.
Mhm.
absolutely. He's fought
I
in
could-
hell and in Jotunheim. So
exactly. So I could see him
Yeah, too
having, like,
extreme.
in my opinion, this could be, and I'd be happy for it. Honestly, give me make beta cosmic Colossus kind of character.
Okay.
Give him
Ooh, yeah.
huge immunities, stack up all
And-
that deep, and then let him unleash in like massive burst hits with his hammer. Just
Yeah, just let off a
Incredible.
gnarly SP2.
yeah,
I'd be down
exactly.
for that.
That feels like such a thing, right? Because he's got that awesome mix. He's when you look at him, he ain't like when they introduced him originally, he was a little scrawny-ish, just because that's kind of the race at one point. But they've thickened that man and thickened that man, and that boy is a whole ass meal now. Like he is a big, thick man, and I definitely see
Now
him
he's
taking-
jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He was jacked as soon as he came in. Like his first appearance, he was pretty jacked.
Before
they're gonna have to make him balanced, and if he's gonna require skill to play, I mean he's gonna have the hammer, right? So I bet there will be some sort of charge up mechanic or something that'll slow him down just enough to keep it balanced, right? I'm wondering if they'll apply it to the heavy attack to charge the hammer.
See, that's cool because that is
Yeah.
something that they, I bring it up a bunch of times where I'll reference other games, Marvel games, but that's a thing that Marvel Future Fight did with their Thor character. I think they've done it with a bunch of other characters, but it was introduced during their revamp of Thor when he finally became viable to use after not being. They made it that like one of his abilities was hold one of his buttons, and the longer you held it, the more effects and stuff it would build. And then when you let it go, it'd have all these additional effects. I could totally see that being a thing that they would attach to like his heavy or something in this game, and it would flow. So we have it on a couple characters already, like the longer or when they do something different. So yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, actually. Get to see the spinning hammer. Ooh. Come on, give me that. Give me that. I need that. I need to just be able to see him spinning his hammer. Oh, that's so cool.
And you know what champion in game already that I kind of based what I thought of off of? Stormax's charge heavy.
Dude, I was gonna bring up Realm. That's my mind was going there too. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. With the prow scanning and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very, yeah.
It would be kind of interesting to see if a tech or cosmic champion utilized prowess, but was immune to the prowess removal abilities that so many tech
Oh,
champs
that's so
have
dangerous.
because he isn't a mutant.
That's so dangerous. It's such a dangerous buff to give anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Agreed.
give that to a cosmic because a cosmic stacks buff, and there are so many things you can do to add buffs. And prowess is just like straight special damage that just is like the strongest modifier I think we have. Like I think it's like a full multiplicative, like well, other things can be more additive and like have other ways it works in. I think prowess. That's why mutant specials are so ridiculous. I just think giving them to a cosmic is going to be terrifying. Because think about what Sigil Witch is. When Sigil Witch pulls off like multiple prowess, multiple buff special, like SP2, it wipes anybody off the screen. It's crazy.
Yeah, so then if giving it to beta, then put it in a special 3. Make him viable for longer fights like Necropolis and stuff.
Yeah, but it would have to like have a max stack of some point.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, no, it doesn't, because if it's for only Necropolis has a hard limit on max damage. So I mean, that's not where they're scared of. We're looking more like fast, easy access for battlegrounds and one-shotting someone as soon as you get to like a special, just because you got lucky and got your browsers up early or something. Just doing a full health bar damage would be terrifying. Like we have Jugs who basically could do something like that, but like, there are so many things that
Gallon.
can go wrong. Gallon can definitely do something like that. But if there's no armor, Gallon can definitely not do something like that.
No, yeah. Only
Noodle
when-
Boy at that moment. I think I wanted to ask, so we know he's coming. And one thing that I always think is really interesting is we don't know his kit, obviously, that's what we've been discussing. But also with that, there's always like that character that we kind of see and go, this is probably who's going to counter him. And I think it'd be kind of cool if they went with, lore stuff and like gave Loki something in that whole thing. Like you bring Loki up against Beta and like Loki just becomes incredible and he becomes like a complete like tech for your BG deck or something where you're like, yeah, I don't care that they got 7-star Beta. I got my 6-star Loki here, rank 3, and he's just gonna walk all over him. Because that
I hope
copy
not.
buff stuff, that's so
Oh jeez. You're basically implying that they'll just add that cosmic what's that node where basically it goes against all mystics, like Claire's buff immunity debuff. You got nullify and stagger and so on, and also neutralize immune to ability accuracy modification. You're implying that that kind of stuff will be added and just leave behind Soul Barb and Loki's buff steal, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the buff steal.
Wouldn't it work the same for what is her name? Well, I can't even remember her name now. Morningstar. There it is. Would it work the same for that?
Morningstar.
She's got a buff steal mechanic. Well,
I mean,
kind
it's
of.
like
Like
yeah, it's
buff
kind of
buff.
it's a buff copy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Odin has it, I think, in his sword. He like copies the buff that someone else sees, and like Dragon Man has like a kind of thing. Yeah, I mean it's a cool. Okay.
Morningstar
All right.
copies, but at low potency,
Yeah, yeah,
regen and power gain, and
That's right.
fury.
and Fury. Yeah, good call. All right. Let's play a quick little fun game just because I think I have one myself. Can you guys let's guess the name for his SP3. What is it gonna be?
Ooh.
Probably Stormbreaker, or I don't know. Could be Stormbreaker. I don't know.
Well, it depends on what's in the special 3, right?
Yeah,
So, as
Yeah.
someone, I don't remember which one of you mentioned it earlier, bringing
Sword?
out the sword.
Twilight
Yeah,
Sword.
Oh, the
so
Twilight, yeah.
Twilight Sword. So it could, the name of the special 3 could include that, or it could include Stormbreaker. Who knows?
Mhm.
Yeah. For me, I personally, if it was going to be Twilight Sword, I want to be like Hour of Twilight, which I think just sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then if it's
You know what the Sword of Doom?
Stormbreaker, it has to be Hammer Time.
Oh yeah.
Hammer Time. It's a good one.
Hammer Time. He's a funny character. Like he's sad. He's funny. They can do a lot of fun with him. I want them to
Absolutely.
treat him with respect, but also realize that like he's one of the funnest parts of Thor comics, and Thor comics get wackadoo.
Mhm.
But Beta's just great. Bill's so fun.
Guys, if anyone hasn't seen Planet Hulk, the animated movie from the early 2000s,
I love
Just
that
watched
movie.
it because you told me to.
yes,
You just told me to watch it, so I watched it. Yeah,
it is
good stuff.
it's so good, man, and Bill has a good portion of it, good section of the movie that's really awesome.
10 of
I like
10
it.
would recommend.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a very enjoyable watch.
I love
it-
using the
it-
gifs that have Beta from Planet Hulk in them.
Well,
Yeah, you have to say that again. I didn't hear the first of that.
I like using the gifs that have
Oh, the
Beta.
gifs,
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, there's some
That's-
good stuff. I really I enjoy the fact that I usually get pretty angry about when it's something made by the company and it's not canon, like it's not fitting the origin, and like it should. Like sometimes you can't. Like when you're making like a live action, you can't. But like it starts bothering me, and like Marvel has done a couple animated stuff where it's been pretty. I don't know. Do you guys remember the old Ultimate release when they did the Ultimate
Mhm.
animated?
Had that on
movies?
DVD.
Yeah, I have them both. They're pretty dead on when it comes to like the original Ultimates release of when they fight the Chitauri and then they deal with Hulk. Like that's
Mhm.
pretty on the nose for both those situations, and I really, really appreciate that. I will say the Planet Hulk
right.
hit me in a way where I appreciate it in the same way I like the animated DC stuff. We're not talking about the one we don't name. But like the earlier stuff, like Doom and whatever, where it wasn't directly, linked in the same as the way these stories were handled in the comics, they still were handled in a great way to give you a great story with enough where you understand the point, and that's kind of what you got to appreciate for that. And plus, it's such a great story. Like it's Planet Hulk's such a great story.
Mhm. Rumors are it's still being eyed at to be the next Hulk movie for MCU.
I don't know if we'll get a Hulk movie.
I hope so.
We will. We gotta get one now, man. Got the rights. Like they're ready to go, man. Give us Planet Hulk. Give us Peter Ray Bill. Like it's gonna happen, man. I want it.
I love it. It's just
Give us World Breaker
The
Hulk.
problem is, the only problem is they're gonna have to. I don't know, like they didn't handle the Black Widow movie well, right? And now they're gonna have to do something similar with the Hulk.
I mean, I think
It really just depends on who's doing it and what
Yeah.
they're doing with it.
yeah.
Like,
They've learned a lot
I-
from Phase 4, is what they've been saying.
there's only one. Okay, I'm not a fanboy, and in all actuality, I'm not a huge fan of James Gunn. Like, I like what he's done as a writer. I think he's way too up on his own stuff. Like, I think he's a fine director, and I think he's great. But I think like the whole like I'm the new Tim Burton. No, you're not. Like you're not. And even Tim Burton was unique for his time, but also kind of full of himself. Like.
Mhm.
You're a director, and I appreciate the stories you're doing, but you're not the creator of these characters, and you're using stuff you appreciate. I appreciate that, but like, don't act like you created these storylines, like this complex stuff. People give him credit for so much complex stuff, and I'm like, I was there in the comics decades ago, guys. Like,
Yeah, just bringing up
he
the
didn't
comics.
write the Rocket story, everybody. Just so you know, he didn't write Rocket. Rocket wasn't his. Rocket was a sad, depressing, very sad character. Sure, he brought him to the limelight, but he was a character long before. And I will say, though, I truly feel like when he signed to DC, they really lost the person that they could trust to handle space the best. He has this he has this wacky ideas, and like he's really good at understanding those situations, the alien of it all. And I think that would have really worked. I would have given him Planet Hawk. I would have given him the ability to slip the humor, the intensity, but also like Hulk finds love. Hulk gets betrayed. Pure devastation happens, and like the scariest character you've ever seen in Worldbreaker. Like Worldbreaker Hulk, I remember reading when he came to Earth, and I just remember like legit being scared for the first time. Like, oh, I think Hulk might actually kill everybody. Like this is the first time it actually seems like
except for Darwin.
Have to have a cosmic. Yeah, because Darwin knew
except for that one X-Men movie.
Hey,
Darwin's like, I'm gonna fight you, and his body was like, we're out. But yet, Kevin Bacon can beat him, right? Just by putting a little orb of energy in his mouth.
Oh my gosh.
God, those movies were so racist. They killed the black guy, and he was supposed to be the only one that was unkillable. That takes some real strong anger about people, you know? But yeah, that was I love that character, by the way, Darwin.
Oh yes.
I really hope we get more. Yeah. I can't wait to see if they actually delve into that stuff with now that the X-Men are for the MCU, because they have time to stretch out and actually tell that whole story. Come on, give me Vulcan, give me Darwin, you know, give me that whole the whole Krakoa early stuff. Give me what really happened, because that stuff's crazy.
We got a YouTube comment saying, "How are they going to do Hulk versus Sentry?"
Ooh.
I mean,
Sentry was supposed to be already there. We were supposed to have Sentry already cast and like cemented in, but Stephen Yeun dropped out.
Yeah, I think they're still going to do Sentry.
Absolutely. I wonder who.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling did just. It's reported that he signed on as not
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, as Ghost Rider. But if that's not Ghost Rider, everyone can totally see it being Sentry. I still prefer Ghost Rider over Sentry, but
I don't think he could pull off Sentry. One of the things that people really drag now, and I think it is kind of important. I am all for anybody being able to be anything, but I think we're at a point where we want some kind of accuracy, especially when people like. We have a lot of people who just work out in their day-to-day lives and take really good care of themselves, and they're very buff people and very good shape people. Ryan Gosling is in great shape, and he is not a small guy, but he definitely does not look like Sentry.
Doesn't have the frame.
He doesn't have the frame. He doesn't have the you need a body. Like you need a need a body of muscle similar to like The Rock. Not saying The Rock at all, but like you need that where it's like the stomach is so much muscle that it almost looks like actual corded muscle. Like that's Sentry in the comics is like Superman drug addict man. Like he is the super a million suns guys. Like you can't be telling me. I grew up watching Young Hercules, guys. You can't be telling me Young Hercules is Sentry because he ain't. You can't tell me that the kid from Breaker High is gonna be Sentry because he's not. Nobody knows who Breaker High. Well, I just aged myself legitimately my full age just now. But no, I mean, I would love to see Miss Ghost Rider though. He'd pull off a Danny or a Johnny so well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So who would you cast? Because we're going to do it the other way, but let's see. Who would you cast? Cast Sentry, guys.
Cast Sentry.
Cast Sentry.
Ooh, man.
Give me Sentry.
Oh, dude.
And nobody can say that new guy. Nobody can say him because he's too obvious. The new the guy who's in the Sydney Sweeney movie, the comedy, the one who's like
Glenn Powell.
Movie. I think he was. Yeah, I was going to say the guy in Top Gun Maverick. I think he was in too. can't say him because, in my opinion, he's too mainstream and it's too on the nose. Blonde and tall and good looking.
Yeah, fair enough.
Totally a Superman look. Totally could be him. But I'd make him Hyperion, honestly, over anything.
I'd go with
'Cause he looks like
Anthony
evil.
Starr. He would be my cast.
Dude, that's
On the
so
boys.
funny.
Homelander, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Homelander.
Get Donnie. Yeah. So like Homelander and Sentry and like all those more extreme Superman-ish characters, they've always felt like a really crazy take on the old school Miracle Man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys
Yeah.
remember
Mhm.
like the extreme Miracle Man stuff, like where it gets scary and he's like murdering people. Yeah, that's always what I pictured, like a more realistic Sentry, or it basically is what Homelander is, like just completely narcissistic, egomaniacal, crazy person. But yeah, what an amazing casting that would be, though. If you start being it, that'd be so funny. People would know immediately that Sentry's not necessarily what he says he is, right?
Yeah.
It's too obvious.
Okay, I think I might have come up with someone for Sentry, but I have to remember the name of the actor. I'm looking up what I
Can you give us
remember them
a
from.
thing they were in?
They
gotta
were
get
definitely in Gen V. Oh, I see who I'm going for. Okay, so the guy that I would probably cast as Sentry would be Patrick Schwarzenegger. Basically,
Arnold's son?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's Arnold's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I don't know if he can act. I haven't seen the thing.
Who did
He
you
looked
put
like he did the part well enough.
He's
He looked like he pulled off the
guy.
role well enough. And if I'm not gonna have him pull it off, then basically my second option would be the guy who played his brother.
Okay.
My second option would also be the guy who played his brother, Asa German.
Okay. Yeah. So you're talking. So Patrick, if you guys have seen Gen V, you're talking about Luke, and then you're talking the actor for Luke, and then the actor for his brother, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. Dude, this guy looks
because those
so
who have
different.
watched Gen V will probably get the context as to why I would cast those two as Sentry.
Yeah, it's funny because Luke, the character is Golden Boy, like that's literally a superhero's name. So his powers are golden light, or fire.
Yep.
That's fair. That's a good casting.
I mean, all you need to do is just get him to bulk or whatever, and then boom, you got Sentry.
Yeah, and on the younger side too, like especially like I think with Sentry too, like if you can really want to lean into like the military, like recruiting young boys to join and fight a war, and then now you're in this military program getting souped up.
Yeah,
I
for
can see
sure.
that for sure.
So, how do they introduce a Sentry character to the MCU? Do we start in an already established? Do they introduce a Sentry character similar to how that we had in the comics,
Everyone forgets
where
him.
everybody had forgotten him, or do we have him introduced like everybody forgotten him and he's just a guy living there and maybe he was in jail, like that whole thing, or he was just the original locked away, or are we gonna do it where like maybe he's been in space, looking for something like
war veteran. Veteran.
I feel like they would go with the storyline where Sentry forgets who he is.
Mm-hmm.
No guy on the street.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the story, they would probably end up having Sentry and Void coming together. You know.
So we get the combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What are we discussing?
We're discussing
the Sentry casting.
Yeah, Sentry and how they'd introduce them to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think?
What's up?
So you know how in Iron Man 1, where they were basically using the Iraq War or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if he's a war veteran and forgot who he is, like severe PTSD and all that, lean into all that and have it be because he was on the same mission where Tony Stark got hit by the missile.
But I don't want him losing his. I love how screwed up his actual origins are.
Yeah.
So like,
Actually,
like the way he actually got his powers is something I want him to maintain. So if that's the case, no matter what, he ain't getting affected by any attack. Like he's
true.
The Void wouldn't let it happen to him. Like even if he would, the Void won't let it happen. So like you could see that where maybe he was there, but he got saved by the Void and watched it happen or something, being unable to do something. But like I want to see him feel powerless against this thing, because that's part of what makes him he's such a not interesting character except for that. Like he needs the Void to be interesting. That's why they've done almost nothing with him since they combined him into the Super Sentry. Like we've had nothing of him because the whole fun was, is this guy actually chained to the Angel of Death? Like, is that actually what's happening? Like, is he chained to the Marvel version? Except he's is he Eclipso? Like, what's going on? Who is he?
Yeah.
Because like the whole when they're doing the Siege of Asgard, right? And he brings down Asgard. He's weed, right? The Void is terrifying. The Sentry is a vessel to make him available to us. So I would love to see a space version where he comes, or I'd love to see him already under the control of somebody who later kind of controls him. How cool if they just skip ahead and they give us Norman Osborn already controlling Sentry.
Oh no.
Just Dark Avenger style. Set that crap up.
Except that Norman Osborn isn't in the main Marvel MCU universe.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's there. We just don't know where he is or seen him.
Yeah.
But he lives. Like we know he's living. I definitely think I've seen something that says Oscorp somewhere in one of the movies. Like I'm sure they've done that because they.
Yeah. The only thing is that Oscorp doesn't exist because that's when, the Green Goblin from Far From Home, obviously.
Right.
He's like, oh, I can't find Oscorp. But like, I can't find my son. He doesn't exist. But we know that the animated Spider-Man freshman year is going to have Osborn, Harry, and that was supposed to be canon, I believe, still?
So, they said it was supposed to be canon.
Yes, they said it was supposed to be canon.
They said it before. Is it still going to be canon?
We don't know. They said it was supposed to be.
I don't know.
We don't know until it comes out.
We've been waiting for it for what, like 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to the Marvel There's an official Marvel podcast now, kind of crazy, and Kevin Feige appeared on it, and he kind of confirmed the Fantastic Four are from an alternate universe. So
I saw that.
Yeah. So we can dig into that. But I also want to say, what if just Sentry is just from an alternate universe? That's an easy way to explain. Without
such an easy way.
Yeah, without like kind of ruin, because we've done Super Soldier Serum stuff a lot.
Is that what we're gonna do though? Is that what everything is? Like, are mutants other universe? Everything's another universe. So everything's converging on one Earth. Is everything staying separate and they're just gonna hop between universes?
Well, I feel like that's what the multiverse of madness is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the incursions. Before all the incursions come in, and Secret Wars takes over.
Yeah, you got all the incursion stuff, but also you've got the multiverse tree that Loki's in charge of.
Mm-hmm.
The World Tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Yggdrasil exists in like a separate but connected. Like it's always there. It's like the web of the web of light that the spiders look after. It's just there. It's kind of like continuously tracking everything that's happening while not being directly affected in its existence by everything that's happening. it kind of is like, you know, the book that's being written by the world, like everything that's going on. And
That's what
hence
makes
also
the new Loki the god of stories.
yeah, because he's controlling but not controlling. He's protecting everything that's going to happen and has happened by
Yeah.
being there. Yeah, it's actually the
Right.
like I mean everybody has said it a billion times. It's the perfect thing, and for him, and it's also the thing that like it's my favorite way that the comics have ever handled Loki is with that whole like semi redemption, finding the fact that like this was their true path the whole time. Like, come on, Kid Loki in the comics was great, and everything they did after that was really cool. I've just been a huge fan of like the less evil Loki. He's so much more fun as an antihero.
Yeah.
I agree. Did you guys read like the Beyonder or like the what was it? It was the Avengers Beyond or something like that. I can't remember what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Good
with
stuff.
him and like Gallen's mom, and a couple
Yeah,
other
that was
American
so
Chavez. That was a
that
really
was
good
so
story.
wild. Yeah, when they go through all the levels
Yeah.
of the universe, that was so cool.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot of those things though. I mean, that's how they
But-
that's how they introduced my boy, right? Null was introduced in the Silver Surfer Black when he went back to the beginning of the 616 universe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's my boy right
Good
there.
time.
If-
Something I wanted to
Oh,
touch on that I heard last week. You guys were saying a romance synergy for Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
I was.
Lady Sif.
Yeah.
Dude, that could
Exactly.
definitely be something that could be
Exactly,
coming in
yeah.
the future.
I was gonna say because I was gonna say we can't guess who they're gonna introduce as like direct counters or something like that because we don't know the kit.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say based on the fact that usually with every new champion, for the most part, even though they try to lean mostly away from giving these really overpowered synergies now, we do get some cool hints. And I was gonna say, do we think that Sif might be just an easy spoil because it will show up in part of romance and just be blacked out? Character coming soon, and we're like, well, gee, who would they add? Because she's pretty significantly like his most consistent partner, and like, God, they're cute together.
Part of me feels like they wouldn't even add a romance synergy to Beta Ray Bill. They would just add it to Sif whenever
To
she
Sif.
comes in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair
just to
enough.
avoid the spoiler.
So could we be seeing that possibly happen so that it is available for like when romance usually comes up, which would be like the Valentine's Day stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that mean like, hey, we could be seeing another Asgardian early next year just in time for that romance to be kind of highlighted? Because it could
That's
be
something
That'd be
I would
awesome.
love to see. Go ahead. Sorry. Nope.
Yeah.
Go on, someone, whoever.
That was Don. It was
Doesn't
Don.
matter.
Don?
That was awesome. Like, that idea would be awesome to bring in those characters for Valentine's Day and the month of love.
Yeah.
That'd be
You know
so
who would-
cool, right?
You know what would also be good for that?
Did
Enchantress.
you protect it?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say that's a double Asgardian month.
Yeah,
which they
exactly.
don't usually like to do stuff like that. It'd be so clever.
You know, like Beauty and the Beast, how I, predicted it for March.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever known as Beta Ray Bait Month.
Oh, yes, dude.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah,
So I mean that's very cool. I mean, such a cool idea. Sif comes in. I'm calling it. She won't be cosmic. I know.
Oh, no,
that
I
they
think she'll be
usually
skill
are.
for sure.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
agree.
skill, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Okay, cool.
what are you guys' thoughts on who comes with Beta Ray Bill? Because I've, obviously they haven't done dual classes. Like, we haven't seen that at all this year. I think that's kind of done with. So, Bill, most likely being...
Iron Man.
Yeah, do you think it's
is,
going to be a 1 month or what?
Was Morb done?
Morbius was done in
Superior Iron
October.
Man is my idea. If they're doing a double class month, it's going to be Superior Iron Man and Better Ray Bill.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Because they were talking about, or Mike was talking before he left, that the buff for Superior Iron Man was happening in Saga 2. The end of Saga 2 is in August.
Yeah.
But did they say
Yeah.
Superior Iron Man's is the same thing as classic Iron Man's? Like a full...
No,
yeah.
no.
But even then, they still
did-
came out with 2 champs.
They did say that when we get the Superior Iron Man stuff, this is going to be like a real fix up, because there's no kit. Like, he has no kit. So like, it's the same as Iron Man. Iron Man had no kit.
Yeah, but
So
he's
they
not being
have to
like
build it.
he's not being
but
like
he's not.
re-released as a
Yeah.
champion.
We don't know.
Okay.
I'm
I don't think we
excited
know yet.
for the buff because I want him to be more like a symbiote, because that's what the
I was
armor
gonna say,
is.
yeah.
Based
Yeah.
off of,
Yeah.
Doing this video thing, yeah. Absolutely.
it's
'Cause it's
supposed to be
based off of
better
it, yeah.
than the Infinity War armor. It's supposed to be his best and most powerful armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a symbiote. It's a symbiote armor. It's literally a symbiote. He learned how to make it from studying symbiotes.
Yeah.
Like, it's so freaking cool, and it bothers me so much that he was evil while using
And
it. Let him use it more.
That's funny.
It's such a cool armor. I hope
I
they
hope-
make. Yeah, I hope they make
The
it good.
ultimate, it includes like his ultimate ion cannon of death.
Yeah, I
It
just
just obliterates the opponent, and they're just sitting there scoldering
It
in
was
like
just
a
my-
crater.
my most bummer moment was the whole he made everybody powerful, and then made everybody pay him for being powerful, but he had forced them to take the extremist. It bummed me out so much. That was such a bummer
I know,
storyline.
yeah.
And then the whole
He's like, I'm gonna
dating
give you this,
MJ
but you
stuff.
gotta pay
What are
me.
you doing, guys? They took my comics and made them like a soap opera, which they kind of were before,
Mhm.
but it was too confusing. Because like Tony and MJ, is Tony married? Tony got married to Tigra. Did that happen?
Tony is married to Emma right now.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Emma.
But-
Wasn't he dating Tigra?
Yeah.
He did for a little bit, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Tyga's kind of been around with everyone. Like,
Pretty much.
It's
She
just
sure
how her
has.
character has written. That's just how her.
That's kind of literally her character.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't derogatory or rude. That's the one of my favorite things ever is it was I've mentioned it a few times, the relaunch of the Avengers, Grant Morrison doing them right after Heroes Return, and it's after they picked the team, and those who are not on the team, some of them are bummed because they want to be on the Avengers, and then others are like, hey, let's go party. And it's weird, but she goes off with a very controversial character, which I doubt we're ever seeing again. And even they showed us live, it was irresponsible of them to do that. But she goes with Star Fox and a bunch of other people off
I
to
knew
go
you were gonna
to
say
the
Star
Pleasure
Fox.
Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
goes
know
to the
exactly
Pleasure
what you're talking
Planet.
about.
Well, the second I said controversy, the fact
Yeah.
that we
know
should not have
exactly.
seen them.
Yeah.
You made Harry Styles into a really horrible person in the don't do that to Harry Styles. He's too good a person for that, I think. I don't know about the guy.
He's a fun dude.
Seems nice. I think he had that one song, like Watermelon something. It sounded good. It was a good song. But he's
But Star
the
Fox,
character's-
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't know.
Star
not
Fox.
so nice.
Yeah.
No. Although, I still find it weird. It was confirmed he did use his powers, right? That was he never used it to get that effect, but he did get it to initiate the start of the relationship. So, careful.
Mm-hmm. Very purple man.
But anyway, who do you guys think will be the second champ for August besides Beta Ray?
Okay.
So if
I'll let you
well,
go first.
Ooh.
I have a few options.
if we get a champ, I think I agreed, Jay. I think I agreed with your prediction. Is it Patriot that's supposed to be on your list? Is that
Patriot will be for July with Leader.
July? Okay, that was the one that kept ringing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one that rang from the thing we got. Otherwise, yeah, I have no idea, honestly.
Okay.
I have nothing for August right now set up.
That's what I'm hoping for Patriot. We haven't heard any teases yet, but I hope it's him. For Bearded Bill, I think that's what I'm curious though. If they go if we're doing Bearded Bill, right, you can do as Guardian. You can do an as Guardian event, so you can do Enchantress, or you can a Mystic, or you can do Sif, a skill, and then Surtur maybe could be a part of the storyline, so it actually has to do with him, or you can kind of go the Guardians route because most likely he's gonna have a synergy with them. You can also go Annihilators and maybe do Magus.
Magus,
yeah.
Ooh,
Kind of
Magus?
tying,
Really?
yeah. I think you could tie in the Annihilators with that. Have Nova be a part of it because Nova
He's
obviously has been filling up this cosmic team and has Adam Warlock a part. So I really think that would be a good option.
Or what if they go the Omega Flight route and add another piece of the Wrecking Crew?
Yes, or they could do Omega Flight. Or they could do Agatha early. You never know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
Since
there's
August
two
is
different options.
unknown, but also one of the champs might land on my birthday, I'm hoping it's Scream.
Oh, we get Scream. Oh my god, if we get Scream
I'm
in August.
hoping it's Scream.
I do.
Very
Hope
good.
If we get Scream in August, that means that I will have Scream and Beta in the same. I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind.
I don't think it'll be the
That
same month, but I think Scream will most likely come in October. We
Yeah,
know
I think
Venom
so,
3
too.
is coming, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Venom 3 is this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Interesting.
I really feel
Well,
I feel like Beta's going to be. So Morb came out, and from a gameplay perspective, very good character, has made moves in certain content almost nobody talks about more.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's realized that. Nobody talks about him. I don't think that's what we're going to get with Beta. Beta, I think they're going to make Beta. They like to make the more niche characters, but the ones that have that fan base there, really good. Some characters, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, there's some that are, and then there's some that you're whoa, and look what happened with King Groot. King Groot got a buff, and then they made Deathless Groot, and he is incredible.
Yeah, that was
there's
really
such
cool.
niche characters that aren't usually these that you don't expect to be these powerhouses in a way, and then
Original
they end
King
up being.
Groot is one of my favorites because I earned him in Arena.
Did you really?
That's
Oh, that's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
6-0.
nice.
Very nice.
I think I actually remember that when you posted your grind. Yeah, I do remember that.
That's dedication, man. I can't.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't do arena grinds.
I've done 2. I did Gladiator and I did Adam.
He eluded me for so long, so I needed to grind for him to actually earn him. Because he's one of my favorites because he's so simple.
Yeah.
So
but
good,
so effective.
simple. Okay, so simple.
So how are you guys feeling about the new super event going on?
I love it. No complaints from me.
I love it. I love it so much. It's so great to not have to worry about logging on for my crystals. Although, are you guys still getting 4-hour crystals?
Yeah, you're supposed to through the event.
In the milestones.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I keep getting them showing up, and I'm like, but the timer's not going. My game bugged. I don't know what's going on. But okay, cool. I feel way, way better now. But yeah, I kind of love this thing. The only thing I do miss is I never pulled a 7-star from the dailies. Like I pushed to get Valiant really quickly. I still haven't pulled a 7-star from it. And with the loss of dailies, I'll never get the opportunity. And I feel like we won't probably keep seeing the daily crystal in the web store if they get rid of it from in game. Like I just don't feel like that's a resource they'll keep available. It's a silly thing to keep like a crystal spot when they're trying to lessen those things. I feel like, and the hoarding of them is probably one of the main problems that they're trying to stop with a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff.
I
Because server
know
load is
we're
real.
sadly 2 weeks out from July, but we wanted to talk about who could be joining alongside Leader.
Mm-hmm.
One of my
Yes.
hopes is Red She-Hulk. I've been
Yes.
wanting Red She-Hulk for as long as I've been wanting Scream.
I think that's a good like I don't know like clues and stuff, but like I like looking for patterns and like stuff they've previously done. And I know a lot of the times they don't always duplicate, but Hulks have doubled up. Like we had I Hulk and I Bomb at the same time. I could definitely see something Leader and another form of Hulk being introduced. And we have been getting a lot of strong female characters, tall, big female characters, which
Yeah.
Red She-Hulk
She'd
kind
have
of
to be
fits that.
skilled though.
Definitely,
Yeah.
She'd have to be
she
skilled.
would definitely be. Yeah, she would have to be skilled, wouldn't she? But I mean,
Mhm.
that makes sense because she is completely different
It's Betty.
than the Hulks in a lot of ways. She is all about like just big like offensive damage. Like she's just a wild like
Burst.
damage dealing bruiser
Extreme
person.
burst
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, so I could see her
Okay.
being just a straight up monster skill like attacker.
So
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I'll let you go. Sorry.
Because Sable, sadly,
Yeah,
ain't it? She needs more. She needs more love.
absolutely.
Yeah, she kind of does.
Jay, what were you going to
Although-
say?
I was saying, speaking of a skill Hulk, like I could see Red She-Hulk being a skill, having literally being red and skill would be really funny.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
Scar, if we are getting like if it's not Patriot, I could definitely see Scar being a skill character because he's gonna be more kind of what Gladiator Hulk would be focused like
Comic
with his
Scar,
hammer.
right?
Yeah,
Not,
comic Scar,
not MCU Scar.
not
right?
monk
Comic
Scar,
Not
yeah.
She-Hulk Scar.
Yeah, not the monk cut with a.
Oh,
What does he
boy.
got? The freaking sleeveless shirt on and
Like a Hulkling wannabe.
yeah.
Do they give us old power? If we get Scar, do we get old power? What does
I
that
don't know.
do? Because old power is like you're unstoppable, unmovable, kind of like that's just such a cool power set. Like a different way they would be able to do something unique.
Well, they're definitely working with that, like immovable stuff where you can't
Yeah.
push the
Mhm.
defender.
Yeah, true.
That
What about
fits.
Rick Jones? What about Rick Jones? Or
A-bomb
no,
or whatever?
Hey, Bob?
Yeah,
A bomb.
yeah. It would be
A-bomb has,
interesting. It would be interesting to have a Hulk who had a Miz mechanic. Not gonna lie.
Invisibility.
Yeah.
it would be cool. I don't think he lasted very long, did he?
No, he didn't. I mean, technically, Rick Jones is in game because he's currently being controlled by the one below all, because he's Immortal Abomination. This
Yeah.
version.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So
Or half of it.
if A-bomb's added to the game, basically it would have to be connected to that story, right? Where basically, because the leader's obviously going to be connected to the one below all.
Yes,
obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is said this.
Power, like,
But
you
if
see
I-bomb's
something in
Rick
that in his
Jones,
skills. Yeah.
if I-bomb's connected to that, then basically what I see happening for MCC itself is that Rick Jones was removed from I-bomb's body, made separate, separated from the husk, but he still retained a connection to the gamma powers, and that's how he's able to be A-bomb and so on. But I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
would have to.
Yeah, they did just canonize because like
Well,
it used to be like Immortal Abomination used to be the general, but like the model itself wasn't correct. Like it wasn't
No.
like that hadn't happened in the comics. Like when it's the Two-Face, it's Rick Jones plus Emil Blonsky, so it's like his face plus Rick's face is the Two Faces, and then it becomes one face when the general gets the husk. So like they retconned it being the general and said it's Emil and Rick, and I don't know, like I can kind of see that because we have seen like Morningstar and Guillotine 29 switch bodies. So like it's not like Kabam haven't told a story like that before. So it's very interesting. I don't know if A-Bomb's on the top of my list for the cameras.
I don't see him coming anytime. He was not a popular character. I do know he has shown up in a game.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance game. Yeah. He was there, and that was cool.
In Wakanda.
And, yeah, and that was pretty much the only time I've ever seen him referenced outside of like very little until
Agents of
the
Smash.
whole. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I didn't
Yeah.
watch Agents of Smash because there was just a lot of Marvel stuff that came out at one point across everything, and I was like, I don't know if any of this is good. All the animated stuff, there were so many.
Yeah.
Although I heard
Marvel
that
Overload.
that was cute. The one where they were little and they made like a video game. I don't know. I'm getting old. So I want to ask quickly. So everybody, we are having. Has everybody purchased, or for the most part, if you purchased the Platinum Track, have you seen that we actually are going to get him on the 8th, right? So like, we know for a fact that he's going to be in game. We're going to be seeing him at the beginning of the month, most likely. Like when the patch comes out, he'll be there. We can explore his kit and stuff. But on the 8th of August will be the day we can purchase, which means
That's
we
cool.
are able to speed up our track significantly. I mean, I've already collected my first token today, just by doing like the speed pass stuff that we have access to. So with Bill coming in, and with this being something that they appear to kind of like the idea of, rough guess, who's next? Who's our next summer grind?
Oh,
Who's gonna-
a new track champion.
Who's a character that has enough of a following to get people to put their hands in the pocket 3 months in advance for a character coming out? Because I can only think of maybe two.
Mystique.
I knew you guys were gonna say Mystique.
Yeah,
Absolutely, my number one. Mystique is
that's
the number
that's
one.
the only number one.
Yeah.
I think.
Number 2 for me would be Marrow.
Oh, I
Ooh.
would love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
For
wish
me, it would
she had
probably
done
be-
better on the one challenge, like on the one summoner thing that she was in. I wish
Yeah.
she had gone a little further.
Hey, maybe at the Marvel
it.
Capcom collection comes out, she'll be back in popularity.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The character that I thought was a possibility, though, is we've had a science, and this time around we're having a cosmic. So who's the guest? I don't think they're doing it in any specific pattern, but I do think that there's a point they're not all the same.
Hey, Mutant Jean
They're
Grey.
giving us. I was gonna say maybe Mutant Jean Grey.
That
That
would
would
be-
be nice.
It'd be a cool way to introduce the character, a character that everybody that I can think of that plays this game. There's only one other X-Men that people would have done it, and now pretty much everybody has him as a 6-star if they've been playing, or a 5-star, because they put Wolvie in and made it available to everybody.
Yeah.
He was the only guarantee. Him, maybe Deadpool, but even then, you have to give him an actual workable
Ooh.
kit for it to mean something.
Ooh.
I have a good one. I have a good one. So,
Okay.
Let's hear it, Jay.
Amazon's doing the Spider-Man Noir TV show. They started
I
film
do.
soon. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I think people were very happy to get Noir in game.
I
You
don't
think he would be
that
skilled?
people would spend on
Yeah,
a
I think he'd be
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I think
I
there
would.
are people
But I
I
don't
would.
think
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely would, but I don't know if I feel like we're gonna get him. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
I felt it. Like, I mean, they gave us Ham and Penny.
I
It's
just
weird.
thought about this. Carter Slade for me,
Ooh.
because I'm a huge fan of the Ghost Riders.
That's what I was thinking. Like I was thinking Robbie too. Like Robbie or Cash. Like any
Ooh.
Ghost Rider I think would
A
be
whole
pretty.
car.
Yep. Yep.
Johnny
Pretty car.
Cash.
They could do. See, there's so many cool characters, right?
There's
Like,
so
there's
many cool Ghost Rider characters, and we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, the last. I would like to see if they're gonna do, and I mean, definitely there's other characters that need it. But I had thought about this a few days ago, and I was gonna see if we had an opportunity to say it. If they do another revamp, like another full look at a character's kit, revamp it, remodel it, spring it up, I think Ghost Rider
Ghost
is a
Rider.
viable option. Yeah, like
Yeah, they
OG
didn't
Ghost
do
Riders
enough
are-
Question
by
is
making
Ghost
him
Rider for
immune
me.
to incinerate.
Yeah.
He doesn't
If
do
they did-
anything viable right now.
He's
to
just a
use.
niche character. I
So
agree.
popular. Yeah.
He just exists, but he has a kit, and that's a
Ooh.
problem. Is that he has a kit. If they're gonna do the full re-release thing, again, I would want them
I mean,
to
they can
do it to
rebuild
someone
it.
like.
I
God.
don't
Red
think they'll
Hulk.
pick
To do-
it up. I don't
If
think
they
we'll
do another full re-release, I want them to do it with someone like Captain America or Black Widow or somebody. Or maybe not Black Widow. She has
I
something
don't
going.
think they should. I think that this is a game that there should be really good champions, and then there should be champions where you're like, feels bad, man. Like, that's what makes it good to get the good stuff. Like, I don't mean like everybody should. I think RNG sucks, and there should be more guarantees and more opportunities to be able to get good champions.
Phoenix.
I think it's fine that there. Yeah, I think it's fine that there are
Yeah.
characters that are just not
For
that
sure.
great. Groot doesn't
Yeah.
need to be that powerful. You know, it doesn't.
King
really-
Groot is the most powerful Groot.
Yeah.
We already
Regular
have
Groot.
him, and he's
Yeah.
already.
And technically,
Yeah.
lore-wise,
Shit
now
up.
that we know, since we have the MCU Groot, technically that's Old Man Groot. Like that's him.
Old
as,
Man Groot,
Yeah,
yeah.
like that's him as his weakest form. So it's really interesting. Like they can easily
Yeah.
lore be like, yeah.
Huh.
What do you guys think about Shuma
Well, I mean-
Gorath if they're gonna fix the
Oh,
the
yes.
the legal reasons? I think Noel the Noel the Conqueror comics from Conan still own the name.
Yeah,
It's really
they
fun.
do. Yeah, I would love Shuma coming in. They actually have like his attack patterns and stuff already in game for a lot of stuff because like Carnage could totally be like all of his attacks and specials could pretty much be transferred over to Shuma. Like all the tentacles and the spin. Oh, come on. God, I am so excited for the re-release of this game coming
I
out.
know.
Wherever this down is going to be so great. So I want to make sure we say it on the podcast. We are heading up to the end. It looks like we've been going a little over.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm putting together, and we are going to, as a group, set up a tournament. We're going to do a fighting game tournament for this game as it comes out. There will be a few different games put together for this. I'm gonna set up and start talking to a couple people who ran these like online tournaments. Probably try to get Vega on Discord or something and pick his brain.
Mhm.
But we are going to be judging and kind of maybe casting them, and I think it's gonna be really fun. But anybody who wants to participate is eligible to participate. You just have to be able to like play online and interact with people, and would be great if you could stream it just so that we can, have people watching everybody. So
Yeah.
there'll be a cash prize for different games, different amounts, but there will be like a total prize pool of maybe like $1,000. So it's gonna be pretty good. I want everybody to just like get hyped up and get ready, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But sponsored by the Summoner Circle, so we will. We're gonna have some fun coming up, everybody. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
I need to get
Sounds
some
awesome.
like training from like Slaymon or someone. Get some training. Maybe Nagase. I need some tips.
There's so I mean, I will recommend to anybody who has the ability if you've got go get the fight pad. Because if you're really
Yeah,
like you want to go old
sticks.
school, go get yourself the fight pad. Just do it. Bite the bullet. Spend the money if you can, and just have some fun because there's nothing better than that with those games. It's so good.
Nice. You're talking about like the old school joystick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like the arcade patterns.
Ooh.
It's just like a little
And you can
thing.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter have all, and Capcom have all like released like official stuff, and they sell it on their store.
Nice.
and you can get like the aftermarket ones or whatever, and they're just fun. They're fun. Like I don't think they're necessary if he's gonna kick around, but like for tournament play, you want to probably have some good stuff. And I mean,
I once there's something we'll talk about in the future about a fight stick that I think you guys would be really interested in, but it's for another day. I have to say.
Fantastic. Well, I know that it's getting awfully late for me, but I've had a wonderful time with everybody.
Yes, man. Thank you guys.
It was so great having you guys here. Donovan, XM, thank you so much for coming tonight. This was such a great time.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
It's been a
Thanks
while
for being our first guest.
Yeah, a 2-time guest, 2 times, 2 people.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I love you all very, very much. You guys have yourself a great week, and I will see everybody next week at next week's episode.
All right. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.